Hi students, today I will be sharing with you how to draw the histogram because previously we did somewhere in between our discussion of this chapter of data handling about the histogram because number of questions already you have done to draw the bar graphs whether the vertical or the horizontal. Then we shifted towards the pie chart and finally yesterday we had a discussion about the probability. But question can be there and that is a part of your exercise somewhere also to read the histograms. But you see in one of the example in your textbook even it is given that draw the histogram for the following data. So in case of histogram, this is simply the modification of bar graph. So I will like to make it very clear to you what is the difference between a histogram and a bar graph. As we are saying that histogram is the modification of bar graph. In bar graph also we need to draw the lines of axis, horizontal as well as vertical. So horizontal is x and vertical is y. So as per our data, suppose you are talking about the production in different years. So you are showing that in such a manner that these are the bars which are denoting the productions in the year of, suppose it was 1980, then it was 1990, and then it was 2000. So production. So here are the years. These bars are denoting the years, and then production, suppose in tons it is there. So production is along the y-axis, that is your vertical line of axis. So I hope you know all what are the rules you need to follow to draw the bar graph. This is your choice, whatever the distance you want to leave between the first bar and the y-axis. I don't think ever you have drawn any bar graph starting with this line of axis. Not at all. So you are free to take this decision, how much distance you want to leave between the first bar and this y-axis, that is the vertical line of axis. And then the distance between the two, that is the first and the second, whatever you have decided, whether that is equal to 1 centimeter, half centimeter, 2 centimeter, and depends upon the data that how many bars you need and availability of space in your graph. Accordingly, we need to take the decision. So we are free to take the decision of our own what distance we can leave. But that is the condition. What is the distance between the first bar and the second bar? That will remain same throughout, whether you are going to draw the 3 bars or the 4, 5 and so on. So any distance you can leave between the first bar and the line of y-axis, but whatever the distance you have decided between the first and the second, that will remain constant throughout the other bars also. So means this is all bar graph. So bar graph can be drawn for any data in any form, and then we can arrange that accordingly. You can take your decision what you are going to take on the x-axis or what you are going to take on the y-axis, but finally you need to mention that also. Here is the time, that is in years, and then the production, suppose you are taking, that you have to mention along this. Let us come to histogram. As I said, somewhere modification of the bar graph is the histogram. So what is the difference between a bar graph and a histogram? No doubt in histogram also we need to draw the bars like this only. But what is the difference? Let us see. First, you make a note of this. Whenever you are going to draw the histogram, you need to keep a watch upon the data, whether it is given in the tabular form or sometime you have to prepare the frequency table of your own. You have to decide this groups of classes of your own as per the conditions given in the question. Sometimes straightway it is given that draw the histogram for the following data and the information will be given accordingly. Suppose here I am talking about the height of the plants in centimeters. So it is mentioned 25 to 35, 35 to 45, 45 to 55, 55 to 65, and so on 75 to 85. So this is the size, and here is the number of plants. Number of plants always denotes the frequency. So this is the size in centimeters. 25 centimeter to 35 centimeter, only one plant is there, and 35 to 45 centimeter, only 5 plants are there, and so on and so on. Means in whole, if I will sum up these frequencies, that comes somewhere is equal to 25. Means I am talking about the case of study of 25 plants as per their heights. Now if the question is to draw the histogram for this data, so now the decision is in your hands. The first precaution you need to take always is your data must be lying in the exclusive form, that is continuous. Already I made it very clear to you what is the difference between the exclusive or the inclusive. So this is exclusive because continuity is there. You see everywhere, if you check, your upper interval of the previous class interval is the lower interval of the next class interval. 25 to 35, 35 to 45, 45 to 55, 55 to 65, 65 to 75, and 75 to 85. So this is the first thing. If data is not continuous, then you have to make it continuous. How? I already have explained it to you. If it is 1 to 10 and 11 to 20 or 21 to 30, I'm just sharing with you the possibility. Data can be there in this form also, but then we are not allowed to start drawing the histogram straight away for such a data. Why? Because again you remember, these are not the true class limits. These are not the true class limits. And reason is very simple. 1 to 10 is there, and then the readings are missing between 10 and 11. No continuity is there. So I will not be able to draw the histogram for such a data, and this is called the inclusive form. But in my previous discussion, I told you how you can convert this data into this form. The rule is very simple. I said that from lower limit you need to subtract 0.5. Then what happens? This becomes 0.5. And add 0.5 to this, then this becomes what? 10.5. Similarly, you go for the next, it will be 10.5, and this will be 20.5, this will be again 20.5, and this will be 30.5, and so on. So this was the inclusive data which I have converted into exclusive data. So this is the first precaution. All the times you need to take care. Why I am putting more stress upon this? Because this is the part of your next class. In class 9, detailed studies there about the histogram. So you need to make a note of this. What is the difference between your exclusive data and inclusive, and if it is given in inclusive form, how to convert it into the exclusive form. Then we are allowed to shift this data to our lines of axis. Again, you divide your plane in 2 lines of axis. As I told you, here I am talking about number of plants, that is the frequency, number of plants. Please mark it very clearly by putting a sign of arrow along this vertical lines of axis, that is your horizontal. And then x-axis, this is vertical and this is horizontal. So what is there? That is height of the plants. Height of the plants. Or otherwise also you make a note of this. Whenever we are taking the class intervals, always we need to mark those class intervals along the x-axis. Now feel free to calibrate the scale as per your own convenience. That you have to put somewhere here, because already I shared with you, your graph of mathematics is always calibrated in centimeter scale. As the data here is going to start from 25, so I shared one point of discussion, that was kink. So directly no need to start with 0, 5, then 10, because there is a difference of 10 in between all these class sizes 10. So I now can start with 25 straight away, and then it is 35. So this is the first class interval. Then next is 35 to 45, then 45 to 55, 55 to 65, 65 to 75, and finally you can shift it to 85 somewhere along the x-axis. 75 to 85 means 1 centimeter equal to 10 centimeter. That is the height of the plants I am taking. The difference between these is 10. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Everywhere it will remain same. If it is varying anywhere, means then you are wrong. So that will be crossed. That graph will not be entertained at any cost. Make a note of this also. So be careful about your calibration. Now along this axis, again you are free to choose the scale of your own. As the highest reading here is 8, and even numbers are also there, odds are also there. That will not affect your graph anywhere when you are going to calibrate the scale. Suppose you are taking like 2, 4, 6 and 8. Feel free to do that. 2, 4, 6 and 8. 1 centimeter you have taken is equal to number of plants 2. Then another 4. Then another 6. Then another 8. The difference is same. Difference is same. So where 1 will be. So now the procedure is to draw that bar, because the ranges are 25 to 35 and the frequency is 1. Exactly where 5 boxes between 1 centimeter you have given is equal to 2 centimeter. That is number of plants is equal to 2. So one plant will be exactly between this. So there are 10 boxes in 1 centimeter. Where it completes 5, so you will stop there and draw this bar from 25 as well as 35, and then that height will be coming somewhere equal to 1 here, exactly readable at your graph. So this will be equal to 1. Then it is the turn of 35. So at 35 now you have to move up to 5. So somewhere here you will be getting 5 and then block it up to 45, and remember this height you are getting is equal to number of plants of 5, that is between 35 and 45. Similarly 45 is up to 4, exactly up to 4 you have to start with 45 and block it at 55. This is for 4 plants, and then at 55 to 65 again you have to go back to 5, again you increase this, block it at 65, and now this is for your 55 to 65, and the height here is again 5, and then it is 8, 65 to 75, so you increase this 65 up to 8 here, this is there, and block it at 75 somewhere, and similarly the last one 82, so up to 2 somewhere, so up to 2 you need to block that up to 2. So size will remain same. I am doing it roughly, but at your graph when the boxes will be calibrated in equal scales, so you will find no difference like this. So 8 and 2. So this is all. From here I am just writing the frequency of this is 1, this is 5, this is 4, this is 5, this is 8, this is 2. Easier to examiner also, just to compare. Yeah, this is 8, this is 5, this is 4, this is 1, and this is 2 somewhere. So now, as I told, histogram is the modification of your bar graph. These all are the bars. What is the difference we are finding now? There is no gap between these bars anywhere. What was there in your bar graph? So in bar graph, certain rules also we followed there, but here continuity will always be there. That's why this is very important to work out within the exclusive data. Within the exclusive data, always in case of histogram. So in that way, you can draw the histogram for any kind of data. Today, I will be sending you one assignment also. That will be a mixed bag of all the types of questions what you did in data handling. I hope all of you will be comfortable. Don't feel panic anywhere. If any difficulties remain, any doubts remain, whenever we will be back to the classes, you are most welcome with your doubts. So today assignment you will be getting, start solving that also. Tomorrow I will start the next topic, that is algebraic expressions, very important topic. So just go through the definitions of your constant, variables, like terms, unlike terms. So we will begin with that. That will take time also, near about 10 to 14 days that topics takes. So I hope that much time is available with us for the coming discussions. Till then, have a nice time.